So I have been using the Nokia 5.4 for around a month now, and generally I'm extremely impressed with this phone. Even though it's a budget phone, I can't really tell in everyday usage that it's a low price phone, as it's a very good phone actually. I have the version which has got 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, and I find it really plenty for this phone. For storage you usually get like, you see, I have installed some games on it, quite a few games actually, and done some videos on it, and I still have got 30 gigabytes of storage, and that's very plenty for this phone, and you won't really have any problems. By the way, you have expandable storage here, so you can expand this even further. As for RAM, also it has been very good and very smooth phone. On some of the lower spec Nokia 3.4 phones, you get only 3 gigs of RAM, and you can tell that the phone struggles. Whereas this Nokia 5.4, it's really spot on, and if you're looking for great budget phone, it's awesome performance, then this one is superb. After having been using this phone constantly, I haven't really found any lags on this phone or stuff that it's very sluggish or doesn't work. Again, for the other Nokia 3.4, which looks almost exactly the same as this one, the camera app was very buggy and it was a bit sluggish phone, whereas this one, it's very nice. Also, it has been extremely durable phone so far, and as you see, it still looks like a brand new phone after having been using it and testing out quite constantly for months now. So that only shows how good this phone is. And again, as you probably saw in my other videos, I was telling you how durable this phone is, and yeah, the more I use it, the more I can really appreciate it, how well built this phone is. Also, obviously the design of the phone is extremely nice. You almost get zero bezels here, and yeah, the design of it is really modern and nice. Only I don't really like this back of the phone, as it catches all the fingerprints really badly and it gets dusty and dirty super fast, and if you want to swipe it, it really shows up very badly. The cameras on this phone, however, aren't really good, and I haven't really got on with them at all, and I'm basically not using the phone for a camera, only in emergency. The front-facing camera, however, is fairly good and it's usable. The back cameras, however, even if you get 48 megapixels on the main camera, aren't really good in bad lighting conditions or indoors. In outdoors, it's okay. The macro camera and also the ultra-wide camera, however, even in good lighting conditions, isn't very good at all. And the video quality also on this phone, I wouldn't say is the best. It's usable and probably what you can expect on such a cheap phone. However, don't be confused as to why the video quality isn't the best, as this is usually what you get on these price phones. The cameras of the phone probably is the only thing that I don't really like that much. Everything else is superb. And again, if you got good lighting, the cameras are perfectly fine. However, don't expect miracles if you are shooting videos or pictures indoors or in bad lighting. In those conditions, the camera will be pretty bad and you won't get the best results. The battery life on the Nokia 5.4 definitely is very impressive. You got 4000 mAh battery and you can get around 10 or 11 hours of screen time of gaming or watching videos or browsing internet, and that's with screen on normal brightness. If you turn down the screen a bit low like this, you can get like 12 or 13 hours, and that's very impressive indeed. Also, the flashlight running times on this phone is extremely good. In my tests, I was able to find that you can get like 30 hours of runtime on single charge from this phone, and that's simply unheard of. Also, the flashlight itself also extremely bright. As you probably know, this phone runs Android One system. That means it has got no bloatware on this phone and it's very smooth experience. The only pre-installed app you have is this Amazon shopping app and also this Netflix app. That's it, and there's no other stuff. The menus are completely clean and very smooth. Actually, I have to really give props to Nokia for making this system so cool and so fluid. Usually on other cheap phones such as Xiaomi phones, you get so much stuff and bloatware and junk on this phone pre-installed, and the menus are very hard to use. However, for this Nokia, all the menus are very simple to use and everything's very easy to find, and yeah, it's basically super easy to use phone. Even if you haven't had a smartphone before, you'll find this phone actually to be very easy to use when comparing it to other phones. Also, the display of this Nokia phone is incredibly nice and something you can expect to get only on much more expensive phones. Even though it's only 720p resolution, the display is very nice and you can stuff plenty of stuff on it. Also, the speaker quality on this Nokia phone is very good. The speaker is very loud and fairly clear though. It's actually very loud. And very decent speaker indeed. However, there's one thing, it only has got one speaker over here, and when you're covering it like this, it really gets muffled and the sound disappears quite a lot. This is really noticeable when you're gaming and holding the phone like this and often covering it like this, and the gaming sounds almost disappear. However, other than that, the speaker is very good. Overall, after having been using this phone for quite some time, I can really suggest to anyone who's looking for an excellent build quality phone, which has got awesome battery life. It has got 2 SIM cards, so you can use 2 SIM cards at the same time. Also has got a fairly okay camera for this price point, considering it costs so cheap. If you got good lighting, yeah, it's a decent camera, I would say. And actually the flashlight is probably one of the best features of the phone. Also, if you can't decide if you should get the Nokia 5.4 or the visually almost identical Nokia 3.4, then definitely go for the 5.4. As after me using these phones side by side, I can really tell the Nokia 5.4 clearly is much better phone than the Nokia 3.4. Also, there's barely any price difference between the two. Alright, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos about the Nokia 5.4 or other Nokia devices, then make sure to subscribe, as I'll be releasing them very soon. See you!